Tash Sultana is one of the most successful loop artists in the world. Tash's live looping videos have gained hundreds of millions of views and launched Tash as a global artist. These videos are filled with an incredible energy and in some places seem almost like magic. And today I'm going to help you understand how that magic happens. I'm going to take you through a complete performance of Big Smoke and pick out 5 incredible moments, including a specific looping secret and the moment that breaks my heart every time I listen to this song. And it all starts with a mind-boggling gear setup. Chapter 1, the rig. Even back when Tash first went viral with the song Jungle, Tash had an impressive gear setup. Multiple guitar pedals, a looper, drums and keyboards. It's pretty impressive that this was built as an independent artist. But in the Big Smoke video, Tash has taken that setup and gone to a new level. Geeks like me absolutely love this stuff. There are maybe 10 specific pedals, including 3 very large lit pedal boards at the front and left of Tash's feet. These are 3 of the RJM Mastermind GT10 devices. These are MIDI controllers and they send MIDI information. MIDI is a music signaling language that has been around for ages and is an incredible way for musicians to control things. MIDI is used to trigger light shows and is also used, as Tash does here, to trigger musical actions as well. You can't really see it that clearly, but at the back of the stage, Tash has a laptop. This laptop is running Ableton Live. This is the go-to software many EDM artists use, and it's built around loops. So it's perfect for Tash, but of course, guitarists can't use their hands to trigger actions, and this is why there are 3 of those pedals. There are also about like 50 guitars at the back, an electronic drum kit, drum pads, electronic hand percussion kit, and I think at least 2 keyboards. Tash isn't messing around here. The key thing to understand is this: everything you hear is happening live. There's no pre-recorded backing track hidden in the background. Every layer, every loop, every effect is controlled by Tash in the moment, in real time. And Tash has some great tricks up the sleeve to control this incredible rig. Chapter 2, click for sultanas. One of the challenges for live loopers is staying in time. This is actually a bit easier on a loop pedal like this and on the loop pedals that Tash used in Jungle. These pedals follow whatever you play, and your first loop you record clearly defines the timing of the song. When you move on to a digital audio workstation like Ableton Live, you lose some of that flexibility. There's a click playing in these headphones that Tash is listening to all the way through the song. I've done quite a bit of looping in Ableton with a click track, and trust me, it's very unforgiving. If you make a small error in timing, it sticks in the song. And any errors in drum timing are super obvious. So I love how Tash has solved this issue. Tash as a performer is full of energy and is almost dancing throughout the whole song. At times, Tash seems to get lost in the vibe completely. Now watch these hand motions here. They look like a normal Tash Sultana vibe moment, but they play a very important role. These hand motions are in time with the click that's in the earpiece. All Tash's energy is now focused on lining Tash up with that unforgiving click track. It's like Tash is counting in using these hand motions. So when Tash plays the beat, it's bang on time. No errors, just a great vibe. It's precision timing work. So next time you see Tash laying down the first drum part in a song, watch what Tash does to set it up. It's a clever move. Now, I just described Tash as performing a loop with no errors, but it's not perfect. And before you all attack me in the comments, this is a good thing. Most studio music you hear uses a process called quantization. It's a process where you take a raw recording and make the timing more accurate. You line up the notes or beats to the musical grid. Normally this is done in the editing stage, after the musician has finished their recording. In Ableton Live there is a process called record quantization, so you can actually fix timing issues on the fly, in real time. This means that sloppy playing can be fixed, turned into perfect loops. And to be honest, I hate this. Live music needs to have the jeopardy. Live music needs to have the human feel. Otherwise, we might as well just listen to AI music, right? So, Tash here is definitely not using quantize. It makes the vibe even more powerful and real. And again, don't underestimate how difficult that is to do. Tash is an incredible musician who has mastered this challenging skill. But there is another area of control that Tash brings to this performance. Chapter 3, hand control. I've already told you that guitarists like Tash need foot pedals to control looping. Fine. But another addition to Tash's rig, which wasn't present in the Jungle video, can be seen at this moment. Tash is standing nowhere near the pedals, but presses something on this music stand. Loops drop out, leaving just the reggae guitar on its own for Tash to sing the verse. Classic Tash Sultana move. What Tash is doing here is using another MIDI controller, which is doing similar things to those pedals you saw earlier. But this one looks like this. Tash has so much control over the sounds and loops, it's really quite incredible. These buttons are linked directly to channels in Ableton and can start and stop loops however Tash wants. You can literally program these buttons to do whatever you want in Ableton Live. But there's another example of using this kind of control here. The effects on the vocals change, becoming more dreamy. This is a combination of reverb and delay, two widely used effects which make the vocals sound like it's in a bigger room and gives it multiple echoes like it's bouncing off walls. Anyway, you see this controller has buttons, but it also has faders. For stopping and starting loops, you want buttons. For adjusting effects on the vocal like reverb and delay, you want faders. So Tash can lift one of these faders up to increase the amount of reverb and delay until it's at the level that's required. A little later there's this sound. Again, classic Tash Sultana. Double the vocal in the chorus, just like in Jungle. This is where Tash creates a duplicate audio track of the main vocal line and then processes it with an effect. Previously, Tash used the TC Helicon Voice Tone Harmony, a dedicated hardware unit designed to add harmonies and effects for vocalists. But with Ableton Live, you don't need hardware like that. You can do everything in Ableton itself. Using a pitch shifter, Tash creates a new vocal line exactly one octave lower than the main vocal. Then this new vocal is mixed together with the main vocal, again probably using one of these faders. So Tash has got control over a bunch of brilliant effects. But what I'm about to show you next is one of the least used but most powerful effects in a looper's arsenal. Chapter 4, Switch Reverse It. Now, beginner loopers like this one don't have this effect. It's something only the more powerful loopers have. It's a button that says reverse, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It takes the loop that you have recorded and plays it backwards. And it's not used at all that much by loopers, which makes sense. It's quite a specific effect and can be quite confusing for the audience. Listen here how Tash uses it. Did you hear how powerful that was? I want to take you deeper inside this moment, so come with me, it's gonna get nerdy. One of the challenges of reversing your loops is that they can sound rubbish. It sounds like you've made a mistake. So what Tash does is to make it seem completely intentional, and they do it in a couple of ways. Firstly, Tash plays samples on this keyboard. We'll come back to them later. These samples have been played on eighth notes, so they set up a rhythmic sound. So when Tash hits the reverse button, you have the sample sound playing rhythmically next to the reversed sound of the loop. So your brain sees this as a development of the sound that's already been laid out. Listen again. Secondly, Tash pretty quickly stops the drum loop after pressing the reverse button. This leaves the reversed guitar loop only. This is a much simpler loop and is easier for our confused brains to process. And finally, Tash uses this moment to transition from phase 1 of the song to phase 2. And honestly, this is one of the best looper transitions that I've ever seen. Watch it now. Tash quickly grabs the bass and then plays a low root note as the loop is stopped. There's a little bit of reverb and delay effect on the guitar still hanging over, and then Tash quickly presses a few buttons, probably to clear the loopers, which basically means deleting the loop she's already recorded. Tash doesn't need any of the loops from phase 1 again, and it all happens so seamlessly. Moving from one section to another as a looper is tricky. Sometimes it can sound, again, like you made a mistake. Here, Tash combines the reverse effect, samples, reverb delay, and a bass note to cover up a change in the song. Beautiful and incredible. And we're about to hear the most beautiful part of this whole song. Chapter 5, Sample Size. Okay, so I mentioned the samples earlier. Listen to them here. So these are not single notes. These are complete musical phrases that have been pre-recorded. You trigger those phrases by hitting a keyboard note, just as you saw. If the phrase hasn't finished when you press the note again, the sample restarts. It gives you that classic hip-hop sound. This again is a new addition to the rig that wasn't in Jungle. I love it. It adds a new layer to the performance, and Tash plays with these sounds in a really great way. We've already talked about how Tash uses these sounds to introduce the transition to phase 2. Now I want you to listen to this very specific part of the song. Gorgeous. When I first heard this song, I was enjoying it as a musical performance, but then when Tash plays this specific bit, I was transported. The energy of the music completely changes. It feels melancholy and sad, but weirdly hopeful too. The combination of a trance-style synth loop and an otherworld vocal loop together changes the vibe. As a nerd, I can also tell you that Tash has changed the timing as well. All the way through the song, the timing has been kind of swing time. So the 16 notes sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The trance loop has straight 16th notes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a small point, but it's part of the reason that this moment hits so hard for me, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Tash Sultana is an incredible performer, someone who looks like they are vibing, experimenting and improvising on the spot as they create their music. And there are elements of improvisation in this performance. However, I hope you can see that this performance of Big Smoke is packed full of intentional and planned moments. Moments that connect with you, moments that make you want to come back for more. Behind every one of Tash's performances is a lot of creative thinking and planning, and the results speak for themselves. Another artist who has spent a lot of time perfecting his performances is Fred again. Another artist whose NPR Tiny Desk concert was packed with incredible moments. And if you'd like to come with me and talk it through, click this video here.